Alright guys, we have update version 1.0.2. I did like quickly skim through the patch notes. It seems like this is going to be a shorter one, which like, thank God. I feel like every time I do patch notes, it's like an hour long now. But we do have I don't actually know the name of this steel skin, but it's like a Mayan skin. Kind of cool. I think he looks a little ugly, but I know it has different VFX and maybe a different voice. I'm not entirely sure. But more skins. People are down for skins, so that's rad. Greetings, champions. As the dust settles on our momentous version 1 release, we're already looking ahead to the future. Version 1.1 is mere weeks away and brings a brand new original hero I can read, joining the ranks of Argus, Xeris, and Kira. That's not all though, as the update brings many highly requested features such as mouse and keyboard support for consoles, PS5 trophies, and more. Interesting. So M&K for consoles. I wonder how many people will actually use that. I mean, there's probably a decent number, honestly. But enough about version 1.1. Let's focus instead on the smaller, more balanced focused version 1.0.2 patch. It's not just balance changes though. 1.0.2 brings highly demanded legacy Doomsday Steel skin, that's what it's called, alongside all new variants. Let's jump right in. So we do have the steel skin. There was a trailer posted. I'm not gonna play it. Awesome. So I'm assuming it's gonna have a bundle. So you get the skin, a spray, a banner, and a profile icon. Does it not show? Oh, okay, we don't see the bundle. There is also a variant for it, apparently. Cool. Is this an Omega original skin? The steel isn't. This might be. This skin is kind of sick. This is just an uncommon skin. Alright, Clockwork Revenant. That's an awesome skin. And it has an exclusive spray to the bundle. Faye's getting a... Is this a variant? No, this is just a recolor. I actually kind of like this recolor. I think the green looks pretty rad. This is a variant. Darkheart Morgesh. Black and gold. We have the red version. I think I like the red version better. I mean, obviously, like maybe in game it looks a bit different, but just the splash art. Okay. Oh, there's more. I wish we could see all of the variants, not just the one. Because there's another one. I want to see what it looks like, man. All right, well, that's all for store news. Not a whole lot. I mean, we got 2 very cool new skins and then a recolor and a variant, I guess. All right, Argus. Argus has been doing pretty well, so he should get nerfed here. Health decrease from 760 to 750. Dreadnova, his primary damage decrease from 90 going up to 190 to now 80 going up to only 180. Explosion radius decreased by 10%. Okay. Cooldown increased from 16 going down to 12 at max level to now 17 going down to 13 at max level. Explosion VFX reduced by 30% to better match its hitbox. That's really good. This is tough. This is a pretty decent nerf to this. I mean, it's 1 second cooldown, 10 damage, but also the 10% explosion radius. And then Synaptic Obliterator, his ultimate magical power scaling decreased by 5% from 25 down to 20. Decently significant nerf to Argus. This should bring him, I think, in line with the other strong mid laners. I think he will still be very strong. His utility is insane. He still will be doing a ton of damage. I mean, we didn't nerf his right click, right? So yeah, just brings him a bit more in line. I'm for it. Aurora, let's see. Glacial Charge, her primary. Bonus movement speed increased from 20% going up to 40% to now 25% going up to 45%. I feel like we don't honestly use the wall enough as a movement speed. I feel like a lot of the time it gets used and it's like kind of awkward to try to go on it like for your teammates. I barely even consider that above. Boreal Sweep, her alternate. Cooldown decreased from 13 going down to 8 to now 13 going down to 7. But the damage decreased from 70 going up to 190 to now 70 going up to 170. So a 20 damage decrease at max level. So we're once again nerfing Aurora. I mean, I don't know that the 1 second trade-off is... Maybe it's worth. Probably not. I think like we really keep gutting Aurora's damage. I feel like this character's just getting more and more difficult to play, honestly. But it is what it is. Decker getting nerfed again, going down from 655 movement speed to 650. Pretty good change. Kind of hurts her ability to roam the map as frequently as she currently does. Alright, cool. Drongo is getting nerfed again. Yeah, he got nerfed last patch and he's still probably the best ADC, so. Damage decreased on his rad rounds from 15 going up to 55 max level to now 15 going up to 47. Good thing we didn't nerf his level 1. I even feel like we probably shouldn't have nerfed the level 2. Honestly, if we just nerfed like the last 2 levels, I think we would have been chilling. It is a pretty significant nerf. Old Rusty, alternate the boomerang, damage decreased from 55 going up to 135 to now 50, so we're nerfing level 1. Going up to only 130, so it's a 5 damage nerf across all levels. I think the rad rounds is actually a pretty significant hit to Drongo, but the boomerang's not that big of a deal. We're just seeing him getting taken back another peg. I think we'll probably be good on Drongo now. I mean, not his versatility. His like, I'm trying to think of the word, like resourcefulness. Like the gag grenade, like his resources. Like the gag grenade's a massive resource. His ultimate being CC immune and creating distance like with a knockback, as well as displacing himself. The unit's like the character's just very strong. The boomerang slowing, great user of Vanquisher. Yeah, Drongo's kind of just his kit is kind of a menace of a kit compared to other ADCs in the game. Feng Mao. I'm curious to see what we're doing with Feng Mao here. Windwalker, primary, bonus physical power scaling decreased from 85% to 80%. Guardian Shield, his primary movement speed, physical penetration scaling decreased from 30% to 25%. Reaping Dash, his alternate damage decreased. Didn't we just buff this last patch? From 100 going up to 220 to now 90 going up to 210, so down 10 at all levels. I think this is a revert, but maybe I'm misremembering. The movement speed hit's pretty notable. I mean, Windwalker just getting taken back a peg. People, I think, are overvaluing Feng Mao right now, but maybe I'm undervaluing it because I'm overvaluing other players' skills. Feng Mao really does feel like if you stun him, he dies, and people just aren't stunning the Feng Mao, or ADCs are roaming off alone. So I've never been as big of a fan of Feng Mao as other people are. I think I just want players to be better, and the better players are, the worse Feng Mao is. But hey, if it stops people from banning him in my games, sure, let's nerf him a bit. Gideon, Custom Griff primary cooldown decreased, interesting, from 13 going down to 9 to now 12 going down to 8 at max level. Torn Space's secondary also getting a cooldown reduction, okay. Cooldown changed from 22 going down to 14 to 24 going down to 12. I don't play Gideon, so honestly, anytime I played against him, he still felt fine. But I'm now realizing I think I've played against Gideon twice since last patch. Nobody's playing Gideon, it seems like. So maybe he was over nerfed, honestly. I mean, I think this is a good way to buff him. This is a bit concerning. I don't know that he needs this up every 12 seconds, but you know, I think this is a good, instead of buffing his ult back to anything like what it was, let's reduce some of his long cooldowns. Honestly, this might also make him more fun to play. Grux. I'm not a fan of Grux currently. I think Grux really fell off. Physical armor growth increased from 3.25 to 3.4. Smash and grab his primary cooldown decreased, nice, from 18 going down to 14 to now 17 going down to 13. And Crush, his secondary cooldown decreased from 16 going down to 12 to now 16 going down to 11. So more cooldown reduction across, like, there's a lot of CDR, a lot of cooldown going on this patch. The physical armor growth is going to feel really nice. I mean, these are, yeah, sure, why not? Maybe Grux will feel a little bit better. Howitzer. Okay, so I'm gonna not look at this. I had Howitzer at Paragon tier 2 patches ago. They buffed him last patch, so obviously I still have him as the best mid laner. Let's see what they did with him this patch. I'm gonna have a little sip of my tea. So let's see what happened with Howitzer. R2000 missile, okay, nerfed. All right, as it should be. Damage decrease from 125 going down to 305 to now 120, going down to 300, or going up to 300. So 5 damage decrease at all levels, it looks like. But a magical power scaling decreased 5% from 70% to 65%. I think this is a good nerf for it. Is it enough? Maybe not. But it is a good starting point. Landmine, his secondary... I don't... Did we need to change this? I mean, I guess 220 for this kind of ability is kind of strong. Anyway, damage decreased from 100 going up to 220 max level to now 90 going up to 210. So down 10 at all levels, sure. And Make It Rain, his ultimate. Okay. Make It Rain, his ultimate total damage increased from 480 going up to 864 to 480 going up to 928. Damage per missile increased from 30 going up to 54 at max level to now 30 going up to 58 at max level. So not a massive buff, but a questionable buff. Level 2 doing 740 for a very easy to hit ability. Decent range, also gives you safety. Yeah. Okay. I want to read this. Howitzer seeing some damage redistribution away from his basic abilities into his ultimate, reducing his lane poke for... Okay, so I mean, like, okay, if they're phrasing it like this, right? So what this means to me is, hey, we think Howitzer isn't the best character in the game, or the best mid laner in the game. We think he's very annoying to lane against, but we don't want to make him weaker. So let's take away some of his lane poke and just put it in his ultimate. Sure, fair enough. I think you're crazy for not gutting this character, but whatever. Hey, I'll keep playing Howitzer and having a good time and keeping him at Paragon for another week. 3 weeks at the top, baby. Or 3 patches. Love it. It's like Quang. Speaking of Quang, strike. Oh, I don't think my mic's picking up. My cat's being talkative. So rude. Strike of the Heavens, his passive damage decreased from 14 plus 5 per level to 12 plus 5 per level, so just a flat 2 damage nerf. Judgment of the Heavens, his primary cooldown decreased from 16 going down to 12 to now 16 going down to 11. Okay, mana cost decreased from 70 going down to 60. So that is his right click. So you do get your shield 1 second faster now. Light of the Heavens, held damage oh, sorry, no. Judgment of the Heavens, that's the throw. My bad. Light of the Heavens is alternate. My cat is craving attention. Held damage, oh, this is a nerf, decreased from 85 going up to 225 to now 80 going up to 220. Shield decreased from 65 going up to 185 to 50 going up to 170. So a 15 shield nerf as well as a 5 damage nerf. The damage is negligible. So there's also no nerf to the true damage. 15 shield nerf, you know, a bit less negligible. My cat is going crazy. I might pause the recording. Fury of the Heavens, his ultimate damage increased from 240 going up to 500 to 270 going up to 500. That is kind of making his ultimate a little oppressive level 1. But when you consider this, usually when lane you're trading with the shield, not the true damage. Maybe it just balances out. But that, I feel like this is, like, all of this is kind of a weird change. Well, this part of it's a weird change. I mean, yeah, it's all overall it's a nerf to Quang. We'll see how he ends up doing. I feel like he's still really good, but we play him a lot less. I know I definitely play him a lot less in jungle, but he's like still really strong in jungle. So I was thinking about playing him more. We'll see how he feels after this patch, and I'm definitely gonna pause the recording. All right, so Bellica, we're buffing her Void Bomb. I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is a bad take. Every time I feel like I've played Bellica since last update, she feels really strong. Damage increased from 105 going up to 245 to now 110 going up to 250, so 5 damage at all levels, and then a 0.5 second cooldown reduction going from 6.5 to 6. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I have a bad take on this, but that's Bellica. Also, it says we're in item balance changes. That's not where we are. Murdoch. We're just getting a cooldown increase to his ultimate. Long Arm of the Law going up from 100 seconds to 70 at max level to now 120 going up to 70 at max level. So 20-second cooldown increase at level 1. Is Murdoch overperforming? That seems... I mean, this is a really short cooldown. Don't get me wrong. Muriel. Okay, let's see what we're doing to Muriel. Every time Muriel's so much change. Serenity, her passive, slow change from 35, or her primary, sorry, slow change from 35% to 34, going up to 50. Okay, that's a huge slow. Slow duration decreased from 2 to 1.5 seconds. Alacrity, her alternate shield, increased from 60 going up to 180 to now 70 going up to 190, so 10 at all levels. Magical power scaling increased from 25% to 30%. Movement speed increased from 20% to 25%. Mana cost decreased from 60 to 50. Cooldown decreased from 12 going down to 8 at max level to now 10 going down to 8 at max level. Holy Muriel buff. Okay, that's one hell of a slow. I mean, the slow is shorter, but 50% is a lot. And then we get more shield, more shield from the scaling, more movement speed, cost less, and you can do it more. Okay, I mean, I'm pretty sure Muriel's mid as fuck, but damn. All right, Phase. Physical power increased from 62 to 64. Sure, give her a little more oomph in those autos. Physical power growth increased from 3.2 to 3.8. Essence, Catalyst, healing, magical power scaling increase. Primary. I don't know why we forgot text. Healing, magical power scaling increased from 30 to 35%. Energy Lancer secondary magical power scaling increased from 50% to 60%, and Hyperflux, her ultimate, the movement speed going up from 30% to 35%. Actually, decently large phase buffs. All right, she's gonna be doing quite a bit more damage, and her ultimate giving her that giving the extra 5% movement speed is actually notable. Rampage. Surely we've nerfed him. Okay, so that was barely a nerf, but Rumble damage decreased from 55 going up to 175 at max level to now 50 going up to 170. Okay, I guess. Well, that hits twice, right? So it's actually a 10 damage nerf at all levels, right? Sure. I still think this character's way too strong, but you know, all right. Richter getting further buffs, it seems. Bonus health scaling on Electrocute now going up from 9 to 10%. Okay, hell yeah. Cooldown decreased, okay, from 10 going down to 8 at max level to now 9 going down to 7, so you get 1 extra second shaved off at all levels. And now correctly shows its level reduction when ranking up the ability. Level reduction. Cooldown reduction? Cool, nice little buff to Electrocute, sure. Richter's gonna be doing a bit more damage a bit more frequently. Sereth. Ooh. Oh no, this mana. Okay, mana increased from 350 to 365. Mana growth increased from 45 to 50. That'll help her in lane a lot. And her primary Heaven's Fury damage increased from 50 going up to 130 at max level to now 60 going up to 140. I feel like this is really notable in jungle to help her clear out early. Awesome. Cool. I think this is a good buff. Sereth doesn't really get played. I still think she's pretty viable. So just like kind of giving her a little bump, especially in the solo lane here. Pretty good. Shinbi. We nerfed her recently for some reason, and now we're buffing her again. Circle Rhythm was what randomly got nerfed. So damage and magical power scaling increased from 25% to 28%. Shield magical power scaling increased from 50% to 55%. This is a pretty significant buff. Rushing Beat, her alternate, damage increased from 50 going up to 130 to now 60 going up to 140. So 10 damage increase there. That's a pretty significant buff for Shinbi. It probably doesn't seem like a lot, but it's pretty big. Because I'm just curious because we like randomly nerfed her. Sure, okay. I don't know why we nerfed her, what was it, 2 or whatever patches ago? Sevarog! Okay, we're getting a bit of a damage decrease on Colossal Blow, his ultimate, but moving it into magical power scaling. So damage decrease from 280 going up to 590 to now 280 going up to 550. So a 40 damage nerf at max level, but he does get 10 magical power scaling. Maybe we'll go back to seeing a lot of Lifebinder final item sevs. Maybe. All right, Terra. It seems like we're going to continue nerfing her. This is gonna really suck for jungle. If we're nerfing her again, I don't know that she's really gonna be playable jungle anymore. But I do still think she's overperforming in the offlane, so I think this had to happen. Ruthless Assault, her primary true damage decreased from 50 going up to 170 to now 50 going up to only 150, so 20 damage nerf at max level. Wild Rush, her alternate shield max health scaling decreased from 14% to 12%. Unstoppable Force, her ultimate bonus physical armor, decreased from 10 going up to 26 to now 8 going up to only 24, so 2. This also applies for magical armor, so 2 at all levels. Yeah, I don't really think I'm going to be playing Terra jungle anymore. I'll be real. Wasn't the biggest nerf. I mean, this right here is pretty notable, especially your level 1 ult. Faye. I've been enjoying Faye a lot recently, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do, because she feels good to me, and I've noticed a lot of other players that consistently play Faye, and they usually perform pretty well. So let's see what they do with Faye. Physical armor increased from 18 to 21. All right. Mana decreased from 450 to 430. Sure. Nature's Vengeance passive movement speed increased from 15 to 30%, but the duration is down 2 seconds. I actually think this will feel better. Like to get the big burst of speed. Bramble Patch. Cooldown decreased from 12 seconds going down to 8 to now 10 seconds going down to 8. So lower early. Slow change from 40% to 34%, scaling up to 50%. So starting at level 3, it is actually going to be stronger. Mana cost decrease from 60 going up to 100 at max level to now 60 going up to 80. This is a buff. Bramble Patch. A lot of the time I'm leveling first now. I feel like it's dependent whether I'm leveling Nettles or Bramble Patch. I do find Bramble Patch more consistent, honestly. Yeah, this is a buff. Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm saying awesome because I've been enjoying Faye recently. Harvest Nettles, her secondary damage changed from 90 going up to 210 to 85 going up to 225. So stronger flat, also weaker at level 1, and magical power scaling decreased from 50% to 45%. Damage amplification per stack decreased 25% to 20%. Damage amplification duration increased from 6 to 8. Damage amplification max stacks increased from 3 to 4. Cost decreased from 50 to 40. Mono refund decreased from 35 to 30. And then projectile cast time and responsiveness improved. Does this not justify going Bramble more? Maybe I'm not getting the math right in my head here, but I feel like this feels slightly nerfed. Untamed Growth, her alternate, cooldown increased. Okay. From 12 seconds going down to 8 to now 13 going down to 9. Ooh, Flytrap, her ultimate magical power scaling increased from 60 to 65. So overall, honestly, a pretty decent buff for Faye. I'm kind of excited about this. All right, hell yeah. I'm down. I'm for it. Twin Blast, Overdrive, his passive bonus attack speed increased from 35% to 40%. We still don't think Twin Blast is good, huh? Ventilate, his ultimate damage per bullet increased from 14 going up to 30 to now 16 going up to 30. We buffed the level 1 and slightly buffed the level 2. That's massive, actually. Twin Blast's level 1 ult and kind of his level 2 are kind of like just non-existent. So this getting a buff of 2 damage per bullet at level 1 is actually massive, and I'm very curious to see how he'll feel. He might be a bit overtuned, honestly. Zinx needs a nerf. This isn't how I would have done it. All right, mana decreased from 380 to 350. Mana regen decreased from 1.6 to 1.3. Mana regen growth increased from 0.12 to 0.15. The one frustrating thing about this character is how mana costly she is. I honestly would have buffed her mana. Honestly, I would have buffed it. And been a bit harsher with whatever nerfs are going to come up here. Bonus infused, because this is going to be a not fun nerf. You can nerf everything else and still have it be fun. This is not fun. Bonus infused healing decreased from 50% to 40%. Okay, that's on triage protocol or passive. Bad medicine secondary. Cost decreased from 60 to 50. So it is, we do have some cheaper abilities here. Okay. Infuse her alternate. This is like the team heal. Healing magical power scaling decreased from 40% to 35%. Neuroregenesis ultimate duration decreased from 4.5 to 4. This is not the nerfs I was expecting. I mean, we do get some step back here, which is good, and this is good. Maybe I would have even gone to 3.5, but yeah, sure. I don't like this ability being used as a movement speed buff. That's my issue with it. It should be used as a res, Use it as a res. I did feel like the length is kind of cringe. Also, like, when you have it at 4 seconds, it's not like, yes, you like, it's a res, but also when people are respecting it and trying to wait it out, you basically just gave your teammate 4 seconds of immunity where they can do whatever they want because no one wants to kill them in those 4 seconds. I'm not a big fan of the long duration of neuroregenesis and the fact that it gives a bunch of movement speed. All right, we're done with hero balance. Let's go on to item balance. Nuclear rounds. Ability haste increased from 15 to 20. Sure, item kind of sucks. Envy. Physical penetration decreased from 7 to 6. Sacrificial strike duration decreased from 3 to 2.5 seconds. No. Yes. Yeah. That's how long you have to do it after the dash, right? Hush silence duration decreased from 1 second to 0.8 seconds, 0.8 apparently. Damn, that's not even a 1 second silence anymore. This is a frustrating item. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a frustrating item. Maybe rework it then. Infernum. Oh, we buffed Infernum again. Awesome. Cinder max health damage increased from 3.5 to 4%. Cool. Malady. Oh, parting gift damage decreased from 25% to 20%. Okay. Mesmer physical power increased from 40 to 45. But Vengeful Shroud cooldown increased from 45 to 60. I actually think I'm a fan of this change. Spell shields are kind of annoying. They are still useful. 60 seconds isn't too long of a cooldown. You know, if you're getting in 1 fight a minute, you're still getting value out of it. And you're just getting 5 more power. I think it's good. Basilisk, this one's weird to me. But sure, okay. I've seen this one. Evanescence missing health damage increased from 3% to 3.5%. I don't know why we felt the need to do this. The item is very good. I think the item's incredible. Whoever said that this isn't an effective response to tankier targets hasn't seen a Chimera Alta Rampage when their ADC's around. Or hasn't seen Greystone run Basilisk and run at tank junglers or offlaners. I don't know. This is a weird justification. I mean, I'm for it. Hey man, I'll keep building Basilisk. Don't gotta tell me twice, you know? But sure, I think this is weird. Boonsa. Colossal Thunder bonus attack speed increased from 10% to 12%. Cool, this item still feels like ass to build, so I'm gonna continue to not build it. Draconum gets a nice buff. Physical armor increased 35 to 40. Awesome. Nice, we're putting more attack speed back on Earthshaker. Thank you. Attack speed is increased from 25 to 30. They did some weird stuff with this item, and reducing attack speed was one of it. That shouldn't have been a thing. They're bringing it back. Cool. Legacy gets a buff. Awesome. Magical armor increased from 30 to 35. All right, moving on to the mage items. Lifebinder ability haste increased from 10 to 15. Maybe that makes it feel like more of an option. I still probably won't build it. Magnify Arcana magical armor shred increased from 15% to 20%. Okay, so we get 5% more shred on Magnify. Okay, I don't know why we did this, but sure. I mean, I'm for it. Make Magnify better. Magnify's a fun item. On indirect Shinbi buff, by the way, so we love that. Oh my god, we're buffing Orb of Enlightenment. Oh no. Hey, indirect Shinbi buff, by the way, for Bruiser Shinbi. Also, I've been running Orb on Argus a lot, so I'm kind of scared about this. Enlightened health per level increased from 12 to 15. It's not a huge buff, but okay, okay. It's a decent buff. Because you get that per level, right? So it's an extra 3 you basically get 3 max health for every level you have. Yeah, it's pretty good. Spellbreaker, we're doing the same thing that we did to what's it called, Mesmer. We're giving you the 60-second cooldown instead of the 45. We didn't buff anything about Spellbreaker though, which is interesting. Dawnstar, health increase from 250 to 300. Sure, I still don't see people building this item, and I don't think I will see them build it now. Lunaria, incandescence max healing decreased. Okay, this is an indirect Zinx nerf. Zinx is the only character that's really building this item. Decreased from 1 to 300 to now 1 to 100 to 250. Okay, incandescence damage stored decreased from 30% to 25%. So yeah, we actually kind of nerfed this item somewhat hard. Okay, that's actually really good. This is also going to nerf Zinx very hard, actually. Holy shit. Base mana regen decreased from 125 to 100. The worst thing you could do to Zinx is take mana regen off of items, and this is her first item. Well, this is nerfing a lot of supports. Decker, Muriel, Bellica. I don't know if people build Marshall Bellica. I don't, but I'm sure some people do. Zinx. This is a significant nerf. All right, we are not going to buff Elefrost. Say it with me, chat. We're not going to buff Elefrost. All right, I'll take this. This is fine. Health decrease from 400 going down to 350. Physical armor increase from 300 going up to 35. We have to remember that this scales the item itself as well as a lot of other things. Rampage's rumble, or yeah, Rampage's rumble, Rampage's jump. You know, Overlord, it buffs Fire Blossoms. So losing the HP for the 5 armor is actually, like, I would consider this a nerf trade-off, but you know. Sometimes it also might make it feel better to build. It's just a reallocation of stats. I think it's fine. Giant's Ring. Health decreased from 350 to 300. Physical armor increased. So we're doing the same thing here. Less health. More armor. Sure. I actually think this might entice me to build Giant's Ring a bit more, because I only ever build it as a late game option, and to only get 45 armor out of a late game item feels really bad. Raiment of Renewal. More health being taken off of items, down 50 health from 700 to 65. This item was very strong as first item in support. It's a lot of health with the regen. I think this is fine. Warden's Faith, Mocking Presence physical power reduction increased from 5% to 8%. Very significant increase. Maybe worth buying Warden's Faith now. It's never an item I really consider. There we go. So, that was patch... What patch was this? 1.0.2. Couple new skins, some hero balance, not much changed gameplay wise. Honestly, I don't think much changed my tier list wise. I'll have a new tier list video up sometime next week, hopefully. Look forward to the next patch, new hero. Who knows what they'll be. That's all for me. Should be 2 videos on screen right now. Give those a watch. Like, comment, subscribe. Go follow me on Twitch. Bears out. Peace.